This is Novichok, the deadliest chemical weapon ever created. Just a trace amount delivered as a liquid, a gas, or an invisible powder is enough to shut down the human nervous system. But what makes Novichok truly terrifying isn't just its toxicity. It's how quietly it kills. Undetectable, untraceable, designed to disappear without a trace. Why was a weapon like this created? How does it work? And why do experts believe it may still exist today? To answer that, we have to go back to the Cold War. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a relentless race for dominance. Not just nuclear weapons, not just space, but chemical warfare. At the time, powerful nerve agents already existed. Sarin gas, later used in the 1995 Tokyo subway attack, VX, used to assassinate Kim Jong-nam with nothing more than skin contact. But these weapons had serious flaws. They were dangerous to handle. NATO protective gear could stop them, and chemical detection systems could easily identify them. So in the early 1972, Soviet scientists launched a classified project called Program Foliant. Its goal was simple: create a new generation of chemical weapons that would be deadlier, harder to detect, and impossible to defend against. In 1973, they succeeded. They synthesized the first versions of what would later be known as Novichok, meaning newcomer in Russian. Early variants like A230 and A232 were unlike anything the world had ever seen. They were invisible to NATO sensors, resistant to standard protective gear, stable as liquids, aerosols, or ultrafine powders, and the dose required to kill was microscopic. By the late 1980s, animal testing confirmed Novichok's devastating effectiveness, and even more advanced versions were being developed. Yet no one outside the Soviet Union knew it existed. That secrecy ended in 1992. After the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia saw international legitimacy and agreed to join the Chemical Weapons Convention, a global treaty banning chemical weapons. But just before signing, two Soviet scientists publicly exposed Program Foliant. Their timing was deliberate. They knew Russia wanted to deny Novichok's existence, and that's exactly what happened. Russian officials dismissed the claims as Western propaganda, and for a while, the world believed them. Months later, Russia officially joined the treaty. But in the mid-1990s, German intelligence obtained a sample of Novichok from a Russian source. Tests conducted in Sweden confirmed it was real. NATO was quietly informed. Still, nothing happened. According to the scientists who exposed the program, Novichok was developed for warfare, but never used on the battlefield. At least, not officially. In 2015, a Bulgarian arms dealer, his son, and a colleague suddenly fell violently ill. Doctors blamed pesticides, but surveillance footage later placed Russian intelligence agents near the scene. Years later, Novichok was identified as the poison. All three survived. Then, in 2018, in Salisbury, England, a former Russian spy and his daughter were found unconscious on a park bench, foaming at the mouth. They survived. Investigators discovered Novichok had been applied to their front door handle. Months later, a discarded perfume bottle from the same attack was unknowingly picked up by a local woman. When she sprayed it on her wrist, she died within days. Her partner was critically injured. In 2020, Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny collapsed mid-flight. The plane made an emergency landing in Germany. Doctors identified Novichok. Navalny survived after weeks in intensive care. Across every confirmed case, a disturbing pattern emerges. Victims are poisoned in ordinary places: airports, homes, public streets. Trace amounts are enough. Detection often comes too late, and the only cases we know about share one thing in common: there were survivors. Perfect assassinations don't make headlines. So how does Novichok work? Novichok belongs to a class of chemicals known as organophosphates. Under normal conditions, the nervous system uses a chemical messenger called acetylcholine to transmit signals between nerves and muscles. After each signal, an enzyme called acetylcholinesterase resets the system. Novichok destroys that reset switch. It permanently disables the enzyme. Acetylcholine floods the nervous system, triggering uncontrolled electrical activity. Muscles begin to twitch, victims drool, vomit, and lose bodily control. Breathing muscles stop responding. Without immediate, specialized treatment, victims fall into a coma and die. The lethal dose is almost unimaginably small. For some Novichok variants, the LD50 is about 0.2 milligrams, hundreds of times smaller than a grain of salt. A single drop can kill multiple people. Even survivors often suffer permanent nerve damage. What makes Novichok even more dangerous is how it stays invisible. Early versions were unitary agents, always active but unstable and dangerous to transport. So Soviet scientists developed a binary version, two separate, relatively harmless chemicals. Individually, they raise no suspicion. Only when mixed do they become lethal. This design makes Novichok easier to smuggle, safer to handle, and nearly impossible to trace. Despite overwhelming evidence, conspiracy theories persist. Russian media claims Novichok was invented by the West, but independent labs in Germany, Sweden, and the UK have confirmed its existence. The Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons has verified it. And the chemist who exposed program foliant was arrested by Russian authorities, an admission in itself. In 2024, Alexei Navalny died in a Russian prison under suspicious circumstances. His official cause of death was listed as sudden death syndrome. Many believe Novichok was involved. Novichok is real. It is lethal. And if it is still being developed today, it means the world's most undetectable poison isn't a relic of the Cold War. It's a weapon still being refined. Because in modern warfare, the deadliest weapons aren't always loud. Sometimes they leave no trace at all.